Hey everybody, it's Party Elite kicking off a brand new mini Let's Play today with Surviving the Aftermath. This is a post-apocalyptic survival city builder that has been available in early access on the Epic Game Store for about the last year or so and is now finally making its way onto Steam. A massive thanks goes out to the developers for giving me an early access key to the game so I could showcase it on the channel and really just explore all of the various options. There's some fun elements that get mixed together. Of course, there's the city building and survival elements, but also the sort of world overview map. There are quests, there are events. It really pulls together a lot of very interesting ideas, and so I'm super excited to dive in and sort of explore this latest, most updated version as it enters Steam. Now, I want to say, again, this is a mini Let's Play. Those of you familiar with the channel will know exactly what that means. The plan right now is to release an episode today, this one, another one tomorrow, and then another one the day after. But if you'd like to see more of the game or a continuation of the series after that, let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. Again, the last mini Let's Play on the channel, well, not the last one, but the one before that, ended up being like 130 episodes and is still ongoing. So if y'all really want to see more Surviving the Aftermath, make sure you let me know. But before you might be able to answer that question, you might actually need to see some gameplay. So let's dive on in, folks. So we're going to kick off a new game, of course. Now, I am relatively familiar with many of the concepts and how it all comes together. There will still be some things that I'm not super familiar with. Because again, I'm just still getting to grips with all of the various mechanics and systems in here, so I will keep tutorial messages active just in case I've missed something in my kind of first go-around. It is a post-apocalyptic world where building a colony certainly has its challenges. The tutorial guides you to survive and thrive, etc., etc. This isn't very flavor as much as it is heads up. You might want tutorials. You're gonna keep them on. We can ignore them. It's not very hand-holdy or anything, which I love. That's my favorite kind of tutorial. So first things first, we kind of set the overall difficulty by choosing various variables. So the environment is the first. There are only few who remember the spark that started it all. A chain reaction of global catastrophes wiped out most of the planet's population and made people turn against each other. Those who are left must now survive the aftermath in this post-apocalyptic world. So our options are: cities are demolished but nature prevailed, keeps fertility up and temperature, at acceptable levels, I suppose. The world is desolate and unforgiving, reduces soil fertility and higher temps, it looks like. And the planet is a barren wasteland, extremely low fertility and extremely hot climates. I'm going to go ahead and say cities are demolished, but nature prevailed. We'll up the difficulty in some of the later steps, but for this, yes, cities are demolished, but nature prevailed. Again, as a bit of a showcase, I want to make sure we don't get, we don't shoot ourselves in both feet right off the bat and have to restart. That's never fun for a showcase opportunity, right? Catastrophes is the next step. In the wake of the events, resulting extreme weather conditions and other calamities became a normal part of everyday life. So we can either say the worst has passed and it's time to rebuild, we can say it's still a dangerous world but we'll prevail, or it feels like the apocalypse never ended. And this impacts how often catastrophes happen, and these things can really be massive setbacks. You can sort of nip them in the bud, you can intercept them, so to speak, but from time to time they will be major setbacks, and contamination just impacts sort of, well, we'll touch on that when we get into it, I suppose. But let's go with it's still a dangerous world, but we'll prevail. A nice middle ground, so we can see some more catastrophes. I definitely want to highlight how they, look and work and feel. So it's a dangerous world, but we will prevail. Resources up next. Some had prepared well for the upcoming apocalypse, stockpiling resources for the aftermath. Others scavenged what they could while traveling through hostile lands. The most unfortunate left the ruined cities with nothing but the clothes on their back. So we're trying to determine which of these three types of survivors we are. Our group has prepared well in advance, or everyone scrounged together what they could, or people left with barely anything on them. Let's go ahead and say everyone scrounged together what they could. Average starting resources sounds fair. Will really put us, kind of put us in our place nice and early before we get too ahead of ourselves, as I sometimes tend to do. So let's go with that. Should keep us in check. Ideology. There's no survival guide for a I'm just thinking about all the zombie survival guides and stuff. There's no survival guide for a post-apocalypse like this. Different people have different ideas on how to survive, with none more right or wrong than the other. Unlocks more options in the tech tree. what kind of a leader are you? So there is a whole research component as well, and this will determine sort of the options that we'll have. So it seems like there's a fair bit of room for replayability and slightly different approaches. We can be a hardy survivalist, additional tech options for more efficient survival methods. Colony builder, additional tech options to improve the colony efficiency, or wasteland explorer, additional tech options for exploration with other advancements. Sorry. Let's go ahead and, again, you can see this doesn't actually impact the difficulty at all. I say we go ahead and try the hardy survivalist. Curious about that one. Feels, for me, it's between these two as the ones that feel most different in this realm. Let's try hardy survivalist. Why not? Let's go for that. And the gatekeeper. Life is unfair, but sometimes it feels like you are not alone. Whether it is an invisible guardian or just pure fate, but it sure feels like someone is watching over us. The path is challenging but worth the risk. It's a tough road to walk, but never unfair, or suffering or success, chaotic, no restrictions, anything is possible. I'm going to go ahead and say it's a tough road to walk, but never unfair. Challenging but fair sounds like what I usually aim for with my playthroughs. And I think, I mean, we'll see. Maybe it'll be a mini Let's Play for reasons other than us calling it a day on the series, right? Maybe we'll just be brought to a forced end. It's a tough road to walk, but never unfair. 58% difficulty seems reasonable. Now, the way things work in the game itself is there are two, I suppose, tiers, from my understanding, of people. There are the specialists who are, particularly good at one task or another. We've got, scavengers, fighters, scientists, scouts. I believe that's all the variables there. And each one has different things that they're better or worse at. Now, your specialists are used for very specific tasks. You can use any for any of the tasks, but of course, some, depending on what they specialize in, they will excel at one task over another. These are the guys that you send out to explore the world map. These are the guys that will help set things up in the initial phase before colonists start to arrive. Colonists are going to be kind of your regular population. They're the ones who do all of the, grunt work and labor, so to speak, while the specialists, again, go out to explore the world, do research, things like that. So let's go ahead and first of all get the Baron over here. He is a new addition. We want a fighter for sure. He's a new addition with the latest update, so I feel like it makes sense to have him. Having spent half his life with wildly successful raiding parties, Baron has generated quite the fortune. He is happy to share the wealth around, which has given him an almost religious following. Baron is a bit superstitious, though, so don't ask him about the number 3. Okay, fair enough. You can see his speed, his attack, his research rate, his scavenge efficiency, and his HP recovery rate as well, again, per day. There's their day and night cycles in the game and everything. We also have, let's see, we've got ourselves a fighter. Now, more specialists, if I understand it correctly, will arrive over time to, I know for sure. Yeah, more specialists do arrive over time to add more flexibility to your crew, basically. And you can actually have quite a few specialists at the end of the day. But we've got a fighter. Let's go ahead and get ourselves, wouldn't be bad to have a scientist, I suppose. Maybe a scientist and a scout. I wouldn't mind a scavenger either. Nice and early, have the extra scavenge efficiency to help collect more resources. Again, we've gone kind of middling with the resources, right? So first of all, for sure, I think I want Satoshi over here as a scientist. He pushes himself much harder than many, staying awake for hours when others have gone to sleep. Hey, it's me. He's aware there are only a few scientists left, and even fewer still able to practice their profession. During the early morning hours, the urge to hang down his lab coat is great, but if he won't finish the work, who will? Okay, he's a morning person? All right, not me. And again, you can see his stats over here. The research efficiency is what we're looking for, of course, with a scientist. And finally, we can go ahead and get ourselves... So a scout is good for... A scout is able to move farther and do more on the world map level per day. Or per, not day, but per rotation, let's call it. Per turn. Which is helpful. You know, let's go ahead and get a scout to kick things off. Who do I want as my scout, though? Who do I want as my scout? We got Jin as an option. We've got Boone as an option. Let's see. Her first daughter was born just after the apocalypse and her sons during the years after. This has not hindered her in the slightest, though. If anything, she's even more confident in risking her life, not afraid to approach danger if needed. What else would I do this for, if not for them, she would say. Again, stats-wise, you can see they're the same. He's a trailblazer who knows how to get around in thick forests and uncharted trails. Surviving through long scouting missions is not a problem, as he'll gladly hunt for food when needed. He sticks around other people if he has to, but you won't be able to hold his interest for long. What? Alright, fine. Well, then you're not holding my interest for very long. We'll go with Jin. So that's our crew of 3 to start with. We can also always randomize if we want to throw ourselves, to the wolves, so to speak. But let's start with these 3. Good stuff. And of course, one of the most important parts of any post-apocalyptic city is your flag. Now, I'm going to go ahead with the red, of course. Got to stick with the red. And, oh man, in terms of a little emblem over here, give a little love to our to our Skaven. I feel like the fire. You know what? Let's go with the fire. This is a little feels a little conspiracy theory to me. Let's go ahead and ooh, I like this. You know what? Yeah, I like this. It's got the red and yellow. It's got our feudal theme going. I love it. Let's do this. So that's our flag and emblem, and our colony name will have to be Partyville. Need some positivity in the post-apocalypse, right? So come have a party at Partyville. It'll be a wonderful time. And the colony motto. Oh no. Oh dear. This is where there's going to be a cut because I have to think about this one. So there are quite a few interesting options that come up randomized. Good luck, have fun, divide and conquer, under the shade we flourish. You can see some like slightly different tones and whatnot. But we are going to go with the immortal words of the 2 great ones, be excellent to each other. And now I fret over any potential typos. Be excellent to each other. Yeah, that looks right to me. Confirm that. Sounds like an appropriate motto for a place named Partyville, I think. But let us go ahead and confirm that. And there's our overall summary. A difficulty of 58%, which is maybe a bit foolish for an early run. I wouldn't call it my first run, but it's more or less my first full attempt. So this will be an interesting we'll see how this goes. Let's go ahead and begin. We are, show tutorial messages. Temperate human, plenty of fertile soil. Catastrophes, common. Contamination is average. Average starting resources, 7 adult and 3 young colonists. Survivalist. Partyville, be excellent to each other. Alright, here we are with our 3 specialists and a fairly decently sized tract of land in which to establish our colony. Now, folks, just want to mention right off the bat that some of y'all will be familiar with at least some of the mechanics of the game. Again, it's been in early access for about a year or so now, but there are quite a few changes coming with the latest update that happens alongside the Steam Early Access launch. The most visible of those being the fog of war, or the fog of apocalypse, if you will, that prevents you from seeing all the little details of the land around you, depending on your people's lines of sight. So you can't actually see where all of the berries and planks and plastics and metal deposits are. You can't see where all the pollution is concentrated unless you send people out to explore. Now, I'm not going to make this an info dump heavy first session or anything. Again, many of you are potentially completely brand new to this game. This is the first time you're being exposed to it, so there's a lot to talk about. I don't want to just info dump at the beginning. Instead, we'll touch on mechanics as they become relevant and as we have to deal with them. The first order of business is going to be to establish a center and to start collecting some basic resources so that when our first colonists arrive, they are able to survive and thrive. They don't have to struggle at the beginning. And then the step after that will be to establish our gate over here, because once that's built up, other colonists can arrive, new specialists can arrive as well, and we can send our own specialists out to explore the world map. And this is where a lot of the action takes place as well, as you scout out the area around your sort of home turf over here. You go out to scavenge resources, you go out to obtain research points to do research with, or rather science points, sorry, to do research with. So there's a lot going on over here. So those are going to be our first couple of steps. We'll be more than able to establish, I think, all of that in this first session and go out exploring and hopefully set up a good foundation. let's get to work here, folks. First things first, get the campsite built. Now, important to note, the resources in this game are moved from point to point. Apart from the campsite, every structure is built from from the ground up, so colonists or specialists have to actually pick up the resources at a storage point and deliver them to where they are needed. So I think what we'll actually do is get this campsite down, maybe somewhere up over here, because it is a storage point to begin with. So drop it off over here, makes it a little bit centralized, makes it easier to build some of our initial constructs. Have some storage around it as well, I think wouldn't be a terrible idea. Yeah, sure, let's go ahead and drop you down over here. One thing I'm going to probably struggle with is that I'm going to try and force myself to be less about keeping things symmetrical and super organized in this game. I want it to feel organic, I want it to feel post-apocalyptic, so despite the grid, I will try and break my usual approach of a super gridded kind of angle. I will try. We'll see how that goes. But let's go ahead and hit play. Again, this gets immediately, drop down, but that's the only building that does so. We're going to want to go ahead and establish, first things first, a stockpile to collect planks and any other, concrete as well. Don't worry about the radius right now. We can establish it at, further and further along, depending on where other resources are discovered. So we don't have to worry about that right away, but let's go ahead and put this down over here and leave a gap for a road. Roads allow for faster movement. And for these initial buildings, we'll want to assign our specialists to get some of the construction work going. So that's a stockpile. Let's get the food storage over here. Looks like we actually have, I saw the 1 spot of berries, but we've got 3 spots for berries. So let's go ahead and drop you down over here. And again, let's set the path up like so. Leave a gap. Yeah, leave a gap for the road in the middle there. Cool. That should be easy. Let's go ahead and get Satoshi here building that. And apart from food and planks and concrete, we might want to take a look at maybe water first. We have a little bit of food to begin with, but let's get some water going. Wells are decent, but I think if we just get the water collector established, not a bad idea. We actually have a pretty solid start over here with some pretty large bodies of water nearby, so we can rely on those with a decent bit of confidence, I hope. Yeah, there's a lot of water nearby, so let's go ahead and establish a water collector over here. For that, I will need to explore the area first, though. Let's go ahead and get you over here, Baron. Again, we have to explore it to establish our construction and stuff. I love these little details as well, seeing just like the remnants of our ancestors. The remnants of our ancestors, sometimes in collectible form. But all right, let's go ahead and build. Yes, the water collector needs to be built at the shore here. I think we can probably find 100% efficiency. There we go. Right up against these rocks over here is probably the best spot for them. Come on, where are you? Where'd you go? Up over here? Thought I saw... There we go, 100%. We can even drop you down over here, I think. Sure. Trying to find the right radius and whatnot. Pop you down over here. Next, back this way. We'll build a storage area as well for water. And you can see the specialist has to go pick up the resources and then bring them over to do the construction work over here. We got planks, we got concrete, we got plastic, we have some metal, we have some fiber, not a lot of the more advanced stuff. We'll want to, again, work on the gates, but before we get to that, let's go ahead and establish some residential areas as well. The emergency shelter is a good idea for starters. They both aren't really ideal, spots for sleeping in. They cause some happiness issues until we're able to get more advanced types of shelters. But let's go ahead and get the emergency shelter. It's able to house 6 colonists at a time. And again, going to try and ignore symmetry as much as possible. Try and ignore the grid as much as possible. Pop you down over here, I think. And pop the next one down. Oh, whoops, I forgot to hold down shift. My apologies. I want to put 2 down at first. I'm not gonna lie, a little worried about our resources. I might be overly cautious. I fluctuate from overly cautious to overly frivolous, I suppose. But we will want to be careful because very quickly these resources can get drained. We've got these guys established. I'll want to establish something for collecting plastics as well. For that, we'll need the recycler and then the scrapper for getting metal. I believe I have a metal deposit over here. Planks and concrete, we're okay. Let me just take a look over here. These things will require a bit of both. Sure, let's go ahead and get to establishing these right off the bat, I think. The water collector, sorry, not water cooler. The water collector is done. Put you down up over here. Go and collect up over here. Yep, sounds good to me. Time to put this like this, isn't it? Because we're going to have the path go down the middle. But you have to go outwards. Pop you down like this, sure. We'll build a path around it, it's fine. And let's go ahead and build... We'll do the roadworks afterwards. Let's work on the scrapper as well. The same thing over here. I don't know if I want them... If I want the buildings facing outwards or inwards. And I'm sorry, let's actually cancel that construction. Don't want to do the whole demolition thing. Alright, leave it. Okay, good. I didn't know how long it was going to take. This is actually the first time I had to cancel a construction. The only reason is because I wanted to butt it up against the construction down over here. Don't want to waste a tile. Let's get the scrapper up over here. Cool. So we've got our recycler. Let's get Satoshi working on that. And let's get Jin working on our scrapper. Get those done. People are waiting for us. That's us needing to throw up the flare so that people start arriving. I think we're maybe ready to do that, actually. The bare necessities are in place. Food collection, raw material collection. Let's move the work area to over here. Let's move your work area as well to over here. Try to clear these out as soon as possible. We've got places for them to live. These things will take a little bit of time to build. We will want to get like a medical tent or something down soon as well, so people don't start, dying. That's a bit of a problem. Sure, let's go ahead, shoot the flare, get the people to arrive, and start working on some of those secondary... I don't know if I should call medical facilities secondary, but you know what I mean. There are survivors nearby waiting for your signal. They're cold, hungry, and need caring for. Care you can provide better if you have prepared the settlement. Are you going to let them in now or take a little longer? I say we let them in. Again, we have some food available right off the bat. We will want to take a look at improving our production, of course, immediately though. But yes, let's invite the colonists. Nothing's gonna get done if we don't have the colonists coming through, and take a look at that. I love, this is one of my favorite like early moments in the game, is just seeing the flare get shot up. Bright, vibrant red. I love doing it at night too. And there we go. Prompted by the specialist signal flare, the rest of your group arrives at the prepared campsite. Despite all the hardship ahead, it's time to rebuild and turn this hostile place into a home. Indeed. Indeed. Alright, let's see. So these guys have now arrived. Now the thing about colonists is, again, there are specialists, or the people you send out to the world map, who are extra capable at certain things like, hunting and whatnot. And then there are the colonists, who are also special in their own ways. Like this guy's one-eyed. Wow, okay, reducing his production speed. But he's an optimist despite that, increasing his maximum happiness, and he's educated, improving his production speed. So each of your colonists, they age, they get sick, they get happy, unhappy. Like there's stuff to consider. Again, this is like the survival aspect of the city builder, right? Where you have to actually worry about who these people are, how they feel, how they work, and deal with all those needs and wants accordingly. Let's go ahead and move the work area up over here for you to collect plastic up there, and the work area for you up over here to collect metal up over here. You can see they both have workers assigned. Some of the buildings, some of the more especially like complex resource requirement buildings, require people to be assigned to them, but some of the more basic requirements, sorry, water is one of the more complex ones, but I just noticed you are collecting water. Excellent, excellent. But some of the more basic requirements don't have that. You basically have, I think it's the carriers who do all that. So you want to make sure you have enough people left over to actually be acquiring resources, like basic resources for construction and whatnot. So plastic, metal, planks, concrete, all coming through. Excellent. We've got some living spaces as well. We've got water. Good, good, good. We need to think about food. So for food, let's go ahead and get a fishing hut down first. Wood and concrete, both we have plenty of. Plastic I want to be a bit more picky about. So let's go ahead and get the fishing hut down. We do have a fair bit of room up over here. We have some room over here as well. We'll see efficiency here, 82%. But you can't always get 100, right? You can't always get 100. But let's go ahead and explore this area up over here a little bit, maybe. And as we're going up over here, I want to go ahead and explore the grounds a bit more as well. Get Jin up over here. This isn't what scouting means, by the way. Scouting is a world map thing. Yes, let's go ahead and pull up to over here. Unveil the fog of war, and maybe we can establish some fishing up over here. That'll work at 100% efficiency. We got food from the berries coming through. Good stuff. Oh, nice. Nice. Large concrete ruined wooden house. Lots of wood and concrete available. I like that. We'll be moving this way. And up over here. Let's see the fishing hut. Ooh, 95, 96. There's got to be 100 here somewhere. There we go, 100%. This is blocked because of the planks here. They'll need picking up. Come on now. Oh, I saw another 100% up over here. Okay, let's drop it down over here. 96, 93, 95, 90. Okay, fine. Let's drop it down. Where'd you go? Where'd you go, my sweet 100? There you are. Pop you down over here. Get you building that. Planks depleted over here. That's fine. We've got a couple more over here as well. So as we use up these resources, we'll build up some more, or we'll free up some more room for putting down buildings too. Let's start establishing some of the roads. Roads make a huge difference in movement speed. It is visible. It is immediately visible. We want to go ahead and establish these roads. Colonists will work on them themselves. They'll get to work no problem. What else do we have to concern ourselves with? We got food coming. It's not going to be enough to counteract consumption immediately, but that's why we have a good reserve. We've got water coming. Good. We've got metal, plastic, planks, and concrete. Maybe it is time to build the gate. I think we've got the resources we need for it. Will take some time to do, but where are we? Here we go. The gate. The most iconic site of every post-apocalyptic colony is its gate. Absolutely. Go ahead and establish you. And let's go ahead and get... you're down over here. Ooh, we just walked through that pollution over here. Let's go ahead and get you, Baron, working on the gate. And up over here, we can explore a little bit more. See what else is available in the nearby areas. Here's mouse. There is hunting in the game, like I think I mentioned earlier as well. You can hunt for food, especially if you're desperate. Ooh, another ruined wooden house up over here. But the animals will attack you as well. Like if you pick a fight with them, a herd of deer will cause you trouble if you just send one person to try and tackle them. Let's go and bring Jin back over here. Maybe send her up this way instead. We're passing between these two pockets of pollution. Fair enough. That's a lot of pollution up over here, actually. Not ideal. We'll definitely want to get a medical tent or something established soon. You can see the dirt roads over here being built up. And you can see the speed difference as the colonists move around, I think, already. Alright. This is all good. This is all good. This is all good. Berries down over here. What's the situation up over here with regards to berries still being picked, hopefully? Still being picked, hopefully, I said. Or carriers. Alright, we'll keep an eye on it. You can see some of the colonists bringing the resources down over here as well for construction reasons. Metal we are a little low on potentially, but again, we're working as fast as we can until we're able to scavenge from the world map, of course. This thing's almost done as well. Construction is, yeah, about a third done. Good stuff. Let me take a look at our medical needs. So there's the outhouse for basic hygiene. It does cause pollution, though. It does cause pollution. Keep it away from water sources to avoid contamination. Drop the outhouse like up over here or something, right by where there's already pollution. I mean, it's not a terrible idea, you know. A little bit away, though. Let's try and be reasonable. We could pop down a couple of outhouses up over here, maybe. Sure. Path goes straight up this way. Put you down over here. You down over here. Far away from where people are living. I think that's reasonable. Let's get the road established over here, there. Yeah, I think that works. The fishing hut has been completed. We have somebody assigned already. Again, taking away from another one of our carriers, as it were. But hang on a second. Are you just walking on water here, buddy? What kind of a scientist are you? Fair enough. Well, fine. I'm not going to complain. Reduces our traversal time. What's the deal with the gate over here? Waiting for resources still. Yeah, still need a little bit more metal. Not a problem. We can go ahead and assign you to work on some of these constructions, get the outhouses done. But I will definitely want to get a medical tent done. I feel like this is not a bad spot for a medical tent, actually. Right up over here, next to the outhouses. Right next to where people are likely to get ill. Across the street from it's far enough away. 10 planks, 12 plastics, 6 metal. Okay, we've got the resources. You want to get this down before you're struggling with health. That's for sure. Sure. Yeah, let's pop you down over here. Next to the outhouses, I think is... Well, they cause pollution. But I don't think there's actually an overlap of pollution affecting the medical tents. But you can see, so it heals colonists from various physical conditions. Healing is faster if there are different types of meds available. As you can see, like there's like iodine pills and medicine. Conditions that can be healed are injuries, infections, radiation sickness, and even mutations. Mental conditions such as despair can't be healed in medical facilities. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, let's go ahead and drop you down over here. The one gap step over here, but we can put down some decorative elements as well. And just because it's the apocalypse doesn't mean everything has to look gray and dirty at all times. We can add some green. All right. Construction over here continues. A strange child spotted near the colony. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that. Let's go ahead and check this out. This is one of the aspects I find most interesting is like these events having to make decisions. And again, we're using our motto to drive us, right? While looking for materials, a worker from the recycler has spotted a child living among the heaps of rubbish. Not one of yours. The child must have been there a long time. You come up to a rinky-dink place put together from plastic bottles and rubber bands. This is my home. I have nowhere else to go. The kid whispers while staring at the ground. Throw the kid out, take them in. No, 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 no. We must be excellent. Take them in. Among the debris, you look at a child sitting on top of a debris pile, with its hollowed cheeks and dark circles under the eyes. You ask them to join your colony, explaining that these resources will slowly be put to other use. The child looks neither happy nor sad, but quietly nods and takes your hand as you make your way back to the colony. Yeah, there we go. One more colonist, but unfortunately a useless one, because it's a child. But eventually they'll grow old. I think I mentioned previously they grow older, and you can actually, eventually they grow old enough and pass away. But as the children grow older, we'll be able to use them for various tasks. Baron, you're just kind of sitting here looking pretty. What are you working on? Collecting some water, maybe? Let's go ahead and get you working on this building over here. Let's go ahead and get Satoshi working on the other outhouse over here. Again, they're going to pick up the resources and go to build. I might want to consider also establishing another source of food. One thing I want to do basically right away is establish farms rather than rely on like a trapper and things like that. Though I might want to establish a trapper. They need dense wooded areas. Maybe once we're done with some of these berries, maybe. Jin, you're just kind of walking around. Why don't you work on these berries? Free up some space over here. Good plastic deposit up over here as well. Again, it's a pretty large area to work with, so that's pretty cool. You can end up with a pretty massive space, which is not what I thought when I first, way back when first saw the game. Small concrete ruin. Oh, up over here, I guess. You are... We're gonna move you down over here. You know what? Yeah, let's move you right down over here in the middle. There's wood and concrete to be gathered over here. Bit of a journey, bit of a distance to go, but if we establish some roads, we might be okay. I'm wondering though, if we don't get another water collector. Now, production is 14, consumption is 11. We have some stored. You want to have stockpiles because when an incident happens, like if there's an issue, or what's the word? Not a calamity. There's a word that the game uses, and I forget the name now. But they can actually stop production of goods. They can cause a lot of trouble. So you want to make sure you're stockpiling as well. If I do establish another water collector, drop it down over here, the efficiency of both of them is reduced. Well, over here it's 0%, as you can see. Well, there we go, 96%. Not terrible. But I assume we don't want to... overlap too much. Put it down up over here. 100% efficiency. Shouldn't bother the fishing, I imagine. Let's go ahead and put you up right against it. Because again, if we put 2 fishing huts next to each other, they'll be less efficient. So pop you down over here. We'll get someone to focus on that. Now again, it doesn't have to be specialists that are building buildings. Your colonists will build buildings as well. But right now, our specialists aren't able to go to the world map, so we might as well use them. Metal is a little low. Interesting. Focus on this a little bit would be nice. Berries depleted. You can see that's cleared out of the map, so that's now buildable area, basically, because it's been cleared out. At least we know that they are collecting berries. Adjusting work slots. That's just talking about when we don't want people to work somewhere, we can cancel the like we can say is like, okay, like don't work here anymore. We don't need this resource anymore. Like let's say, you know, we don't need water anymore, but you can see what it does here, right? So keep this active. Please come back. I just wanted to show people. But this is pretty good. All the core needs are done. We've got the medical tent over here as well. So that'll be good and helpful for when the time inevitably comes. Metal's still coming together. We need a little bit more, eh? Not too much we can do about that. Just got to speed up time, I think. Got to speed up time. And what can we build with you? I guess getting a trapper isn't a terrible idea. You can see the fluctuation. Not a terrible idea. Burial pit, a little ominous. We should also consider getting like tailors and tool shops. Tailors especially, to make sure we have enough clothes for when new people arrive. Now tailors use fiber. Fiber will be getting dropped off over here at this storage because fiber is produced as a byproduct not only of the recycler, but also the, I believe the trapper also produces, sorry, trapper would be under food. Yeah, fiber from, you know, hides and things like that. All right, so you know what? Let's go ahead and establish a trapper actually somewhere over here. We got 100% over here. Can I establish you over here? Yes. Let's do that. 100% efficiency. Go ahead and get the road. Nope. Had a feeling. Cancel construction. Not the end of the world. Get this road straight out first, and then we'll build the trapper after that. Right down over here. Now again, that reduced efficiency is the result of its own clearing. Can't do much about that. Is the road? Wish I could just see it a bit more clearly, you know? Straight line down this way. Pop you down over here. There are technologies and stuff we can use to improve efficiency. And in fact, one of the first techs we'll be researching will be improving the efficiency of trappers and fishing huts. But this, the reason why I did this is because we have, oh, hold on. We have a vision. Let's deal with this first. An older colonist claiming to bear grave news is brought to you. They are shaking and in clear dismay. I saw it. A bright wave of destruction. It will hit tonight. You try to ask for more guidance, but the colonist has already passed out from the stress. It is up to you to decide how to react to this news. A bright wave of destruction, eh? It sounds like a fire. We've got the resources to respond to that. You can see, again, a reason to have to stockpile resources. I'm going to go ahead and say prepare for a fire. Just ignore the warning, no. You believe this vision was a warning of an upcoming torching with disastrous effects. You call all colonists to reinforce their dwellings in case of fire. Lo and behold, you hear one colonist's hearth had overheated and was about to set the whole colony aflame. It seems you also have the gift, Firesight. Excellent, helps our happiness a little bit. Good stuff, can always use that. Happiness is actually tracked, as you can see, rested poorly. That's because of the poor housing conditions. But that counts as a luck modifier, I guess we can call it, to make people a little bit happier. Good stuff. Harper, what are you like? Frostbitten? Clumsy? I was hoping to check on somebody who would make us feel a bit better about our circumstances. Oh, this is Ray again. Anybody? Amelia? Strong kid, excellent. No speed penalty for carrying boxes. Okay! Excellent child labor working at maximum efficiency. We still have a little bit of metal. Okay, good. Need a little bit more to complete the gate. Almost there. Almost there. But yeah, so this trapper, let's go ahead and get you working on this here, Jin, because otherwise you're just not doing anything worthwhile. Get you working on this. And the reason why I put that over here is because the fiber from here and from here will hopefully end up over here together. And our tailor won't have to move too far to pick either of those resources up. We can jam you right over here as well. Works for me. No reason to make that gap. Yep, jam you right over here. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this as a higher priority. Make sure this gets the resources before anywhere else does. Not that this one needs metal or this one. Good stuff. Planks we are well out of. So let's go ahead and get Satoshi. Get you working on planks over here. Jin's up over here. Baron is over here doing nothing. Get you working on these planks. Hold on. Satoshi, come over here for these planks first. These are closer. Let's deal with these. Cool. That'll help. And in fact, what I should maybe probably do is, rather than have this all the way out over here, move this over here as well. Again, they're closer, less distance to travel. We got planks right over here. We should collect these first for sure. For sure. Looks like more resources have arrived over here. Need 5 more metal. Double up the speed over here. Get the job done. Get you picking up... Again, these guys can't pick up metal and stuff, unfortunately. So let's work on the planks. Good stuff. Working normally. No issues. Trapper. Waiting for resources. Yeah, it's just those planks are slowing us down a little bit right now. Plastic will be a problem soon. We only have this one spot for plastic. It's a relatively low rate of acquiring. But, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, just outside Partyville, there is a deposit of plastics that we can not rely on, because it's not going to be a big deposit or anything, but at least it is nearby. Planks depleted. I'm aware, but we're picking some more up over here. You are collecting water as well. Good stuff, good stuff. Feeling pretty good about water. Not a bad idea to actually establish a clean water storage. So that we can have more than just, you know, the base amount. Again, for emergencies. Something to consider, but I don't think I want to use these materials here right now. Not until we've established a bit of a stockpile. Again, in case there's another catastrophe. That's what the game calls them, catastrophes. I use every word in the book except for that. Yeah, if there's another catastrophe that requires plastic or concrete or metal, especially metal, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. So let's be careful. What else have we got going on over here? Another ruined wooden house. Okay. Didn't notice that one earlier. Good stuff. These guys are just kind of chilling here, eh? Why don't you make yourselves useful? More berries down here. Yep. Just clear out some of the resources. Stockpile some more food. Make room for, you know, like our farms and stuff that I might want to establish over here. I think it's still the highest priority. Oh yeah, good stuff. We got all the resources we need, so it's just a matter of time now before that gets built up. And then we can start looking at research as well. Things are feeling pretty good in terms of the resources we have. Berries depleted. Okay. You currently aren't able to pick anything up. Might actually need to... Sure, get you working down over here for now. This is almost taken care of as well, though. This is being taken care of as well. Okay. I can take a look at... What do I maybe want to consider? This tailor. You know what? Let's get you actually working on the tailor over here. We only have one carrier right now. We don't want to get carried away in terms of having too many jobs. But the moment we open up the gate, a few more people will arrive. One thing I should actually do, with that said, is establish another unit of housing. Right down over here. I'm wondering if I want to have a road eventually go out this way. Potentially. Establish you over here as well. Sure, let's try that. Let's try and keep things densely packed for starters. Put you down over here. Have a little gap up over there. Oh, the gate is built. Congratulations! You've rebuilt the gate and gained access to the world map. The gate is now open, and the vast world stands ready for your specialists to explore. This progress has not gone unnoticed. Soon, your colony will begin attracting various folks. Some good, others desperate, some tricksters, and those who just want to see you destroyed. Arm the gate with colonists or keep some specialists close by to defend yourself from the inevitable raids. That's the survival element kicking in. And again, I really like this aspect of the game as well. It reminds me very much of Frostpunk. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but like having to decide who gets to stay, who has to go, you know, if you should trust people or not. But again, we have our motto, right? We have our motto. So, with that done, if we are lucky, people will arrive more or less right away, and they'll be perfectly timed, because otherwise I do have to cancel some of... There it is, yeah. It happens every time. I don't have to cancel any production to get more carriers. So let's go ahead and speak to these people. I'm going to be accepting them. Unless there's like a massive red flag, I'm going to be accepting them, right? We fear the radiation, but we should embrace it instead. I just talked about massive red flags, didn't I? Most may wither away, but the strongest will survive and evolve. That makes me very uncomfortable. But one adult, one elder, and one child. So not the perfect batch, but they are coming with Dafina, another scavenger. She sees endless opportunity amidst the crumbling cities, countless treasures waiting to be given a new home. For her, adventure is wrapping copper wire into a ball or cracking open an old TV. You may think she's just trading old junk, but for her, there's a memory in each of them. Very well, a scavenger was a slot we don't have, so that's good. They're coming in with some food, some tools, some clothes, and some wood as well. Not planks, mind you, it's different. There is a whole process there as well. I say we accept them for now. 3 more people. It's not bad, not bad. Don't act too heavily on this, though. This worries me. A little bit, I'm not gonna lie. 2 colonists are homeless, which is exactly why we're working on this over here as well. Let's go ahead and make sure that Satoshi send you to the world map. This place is getting quite lively, says Ray. Indeed. Indeed it is. Man's an optimist, right? So Satoshi's headed out. Baron, you're going to stay here, again, to protect in case anybody attacks us. Jin, let's send you to the world map as well, get you scouting. And let's get Baron working on this construction over here. Still no carriers left. Might want to shut off the tailor over here. Some waste of resources, unfortunately, but I was maybe a little too early to pull the trigger on that. We do still have clothes. So maybe, yeah, just a little too early to pull the trigger on that. You 2 are out in the world map. You are a scavenger, Dafina, so I know you just came from your travels, but you're about to head right back out. And once she hits the gate, we're going to go to the world map and start assigning some tasks out there. Homelessness will soon be solved. We're just short on how many plastics we need. We'll be fine, though. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. This will be done soon enough. Over to the world map. So... Every specialist, has a certain number of action points that you can see in this number over here. That's why when we were selecting our first few, we were paying attention to some of those stats, and they're all good at different things with extra efficiency at different things. The reason why Satoshi is out over here is because he is going to head on over to this museum, and while he can only get 300 like research or SP. Science points, I guess is what the game calls them. Yeah, science points. I was like, what does the S stand for? He can only get 300 a day, and you can see this museum has 376. So for now, we're going to go ahead, hit up the museum, and try and... Well, not try and. We will immediately succeed at picking up that first 300, as you can see, and then we'll spend another day over here to get that remaining 76. This will allow us to begin doing some research. So that's Satoshi done for now. Over time, the action points replenish, and we can do more with them. We have Jin over here, our scout. What I think I'll do with you is send you over here to scout these sectors out so we can decide which way to move next. I don't think that's a bad idea at all, so let's go ahead and pop you over here to scout this sector first. And just keep in mind that this is... Oh, my bad. She is out of action points before she can scout. This will be golden if she's able to do it in the same turn. No problem. But what I was saying is, keep in mind, these aren't the limits of scouting. There is a lot more land out here to explore. You can see where the actual limits lie. So there's a lot to explore. Nonetheless, over here, you, Dafina, my scavenger, better scavenge efficiency. Let's go ahead and get you to this camping site and pick up the plastics. Again, anyone can scout. Just to clarify, anyone can go out scouting, but let's go ahead and, yes, pick up the plastics. Now, plastics won't arrive right away. If I'm not mistaken, it'll take her some time to actually acquire the plastics, and then I have to send her back to Partyville to actually get them, to actually have access to them. You also want to send colonists back home if they are injured. You want to make sure they're able to heal themselves. And none of the things we're looking at right now cause injuries, but as you move out to more hazardous areas, things will start causing injuries, causing trouble to your specialists. No active deposits over here. We've got, oh, this is for planks and stuff. We can put you down over, go ahead and raise the size of this. Pop you down over here. Lots of planks and concrete as well, which we will need soon. Specialist ready for action. Back to the world map we go. Looks like you are able to scout a couple things all at once, I think. Let's start over here. It's 1 action point used up. Oh, excellent. So you can see there are some more things we can scavenge instead. And again, just like anyone can scout, anyone can scavenge, but it's all a matter of efficiency. But here you can see we have a bandit lair, which we should be able to overpower, actually. I don't know if I want to take that risk right now. We'll explore this as an option maybe at another time, but you can see the little exclamation marks above it. That's a warning of how much damage your people are likely to take, and when they take damage, you have to bring them back home to heal them up. That's one sector explored. Let's go ahead and scout this one as well. That's one more action point to use up. And what do we have down over here? We've got, okay, some metal available, for example. But again, here you can see going to get the metal might cause damage to health because who knows, it could be radiation, it could be anything, right? So it's not only bandit camps or bandit lairs that might cause damage, but also just regular resource gathering. Still a few more points available. Let's go ahead and move you up to here and scout this sector. I think we'll have 1 point left to scout this sector as well. Okay, some canned food available over here, some more science points and plastic as well. And what about here? Living up to her class, eh? Scouting a lot right off the bat. Canned food, plastic, metal, tools. We got some good variety. Cool. That's her done. Back. War colony. I love that aspect of the game. I think it's very interesting. It's very different. There's a whole other layer of strategy and stuff involved. Honestly, this game does a lot of really cool stuff. How do I put? Like, I guess I will. Obviously, you read the feature list and you go, okay, I see what this game's about. But to actually play it feels so different, and I'm really thrilled so far with my experiences thus far with how it all comes together, and I'm really excited to explore more of it. Again, folks, if you're enjoying what you're seeing so far, you want to see more of this game on the channel, please don't hesitate to let me know. Leave a like and leave a comment down below. As always, I look at the number of likes and comments to just get a quick read on what people want to see on the channel, and I do read through all the comments as well, so if you have any thoughts, suggestions, opinions, questions, whatever it might be, leave it down below, and I will try to address it as soon as I can in whatever fashion I can. Now, I remember I was talking about this when I got interrupted. We are able to put down decorative elements. Like there are torches we can put down, which will fit over here where we have that little gap. We also have, bushes and stuff like that. So we will be able to beautify the area. Not in a rush right now to do any of that, but it is an option. No construction cost for most of these, in fact, you can see. So that's pretty good too. Don't have to worry about using plastics to make bushes or anything like that. Production limits, that is, you can set production limits to resources created by production buildings like tailors. Right. So if we want someone working at a thing until we are at a certain point and then assigning themselves to other stuff, that is not a bad idea either. We have enough clothes right now. I say worriedly, very worriedly. But before we get into that, let's take a look at research. Now, research is broken into multiple categories depending on, what they focus on. Like I said, I want to get to farming sooner rather than later. To get to basic farming, though, in order to build these small fields, we have to first get survival skills, which will improve the production speed of our fishing huts and trappers. Big game hunting over here will add a work slot to the trapper, while pack tactics will add another work slot to the trapper. So we can make the trapper be pretty efficient pretty quickly by doing some of the research over here. First order of business, though, is to do survival skills. It'll cost us just 50 science points and 15 hours. And then we go on to basic farming. Later on, we can go to skinning as well, which will help the production of fiber out of the trapper with every, rotation or cycle, whatever you want to call it. And that's another 50 research points, or science points, sorry. Larger larder, which, try saying that 5 times real fast, improves, again, you can see how research works. This is for food only. Production's a whole different thing of its own. We've got colony-specific aspects as well, in terms of improving the kinds of structures you're able to build and reducing the difficulty to repair damaged materials. Like, there's a lot to explore over here, I say as I click on the exploration tab. But we are going to start with survival skills. Go ahead and research that. Take 15 hours, then we move on to basic farming, so we can hopefully establish some of that in just a moment's time. Don't need to work on demolishing. Let's go ahead and say production limit. Let's set it to 10. And I'm actually uncertain about something here. If I assign, yeah, okay, cool. This means that we have assigned someone to work here, or we've said that someone should work here, but because we're currently over our production limit, they're not working here, and instead they're working as a carrier. Again, carriers are very important. Things don't get done without carriers. Need one more piece of plastic over here. We can double speed. No one is ready for the move. You see the little green bar that's going around in a circle. That's letting you know when people will be ready for movements again. But let's go ahead, double speed it, get some more progress going, get that survival skills research completed at the very least. And all this unhappiness is because of the poor living conditions, the poor sleeping conditions. So that's something to keep in mind. Tempting to get the forester out there to grow saplings. Tempting also to get the lumberyard out there to, work on those saplings eventually. Because again, we're running out of planks pretty soon, right? So we want to make sure we get on top of that. This itself will cost us some planks. We don't want to rely too heavily on what's out there in the world for us to scavenge. All right, everyone's ready to move again. Have you picked up all of the research? You have indeed. I suppose I could move you up. Oof. A lot of cycles to get up there. I could instead scout down over here as well, see if there are other spots available for research. It's not a terrible idea to scout all around first. Well, let's see. First, Jin, get you scouting. Take you a while to get over there, eh? Alright, you've got 49 plastic on you. We can return you to colony. Nothing to pick up over here anymore. Yeah, so you will return to the colony. And that should, if I'm not mistaken, I think she has to actually deliver it at the at storage. So Jin, fair enough. Let's go ahead and move you over this way. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She won't be able to scout at the same time. In that case, just let's move you as far as you can. We'll scout these sectors with her later. Down over here, Satoshi. You won't be able to scout this turn, will you? No. Okay. Patience is a virtue. It'll all pay off. Thankfully, again, science points, they get automatically transferred back to the colony, so we don't have to worry about that. And there you are. Hopefully, with the resources I just scavenged. Unless I missed them getting deposited automatically. I'm fairly certain they have to be delivered, but I could be mistaken. Okay, I guess I am mistaken. Then let's send you back to the world map. Why sit and do nothing? Why sit and do nothing? Alright, let's see. You are, yes, carrying nothing on you right now. We can get some food. Food is looking good, actually. Considering our production versus consumption rate, food is actually looking alright. I could just get her to scout instead. Sure, let's get you to scout this area. See if there's anything worth picking up over here. More plastics, maybe. No, not plastics. Alright, not the end of the world. And so we wait. And so we wait. Oh, there we go. There we go. So okay, right. Sorry. So the specialist drops all the items off at the gate. You can see it over here. She's dropped all the plastics off. And now the carriers will come through, and the kids will come through to pick the boxes up and drop them off at storage. That's what it is, right? So they do have to come back. Baron has been hanging out here doing next to nothing. I feel like we can just send him out as well. We got a lot of plastic now, which is promising. We could maybe send him to the world map and take on a couple of those bandits out there. These berries are almost done. Let's deal with that first, maybe. This needs to be built. A little bit more plastic required, and the colonists will get to it. Yeah. There we go. Ooh, colonist Harper is injured. I need some patching up. That's okay. We've got a medical tent. We should be fine. Any kind of accident in the daily life can lead to an injury. Untreated injuries will lead to death, but they are easy to heal in any medical facility. There she goes to the medical facilities. Being treated. Health is maximized. Good stuff. Specialist ready for action. Yeah, she'll be fine. Harper will be fine. A loiterer. He's hemophobic. Hemophobic and staying in a medical tent. Yikes. And educated. Extra production speed. Good stuff. All right, let's get to work over here. We could scavenge some concrete. It's our... Well, I would say it's our least plentiful resource right now, but in truth, metal is our least plentiful, but it's also further away. What about scout? What if I... Nah, I can't scout this area with her, unfortunately. So sure, go ahead and pick up some concrete. She will lose some health. She only has to be there for a day, though, because of her rate of scavenging. So she'll lose 10 HP, but then we'll bring her back home. She has to come back home anyway. And again, you can send them on a long-haul mission as well, right? Ooh. What was that? So she's picked up all the resources. Excellent. We can have her return to colony right away. But if we wanted to, we could send her out even further to fill up her bag, right, before she comes back. That's an option as well. You know what, actually, why not? Why not? Why not? Let's pick up some tools and some planks while we're out here, and then we'll head back. It's only a little bit of HP damage. It's not the end of the world. And whoops, I need to actually, sorry, scout up over here as well. That done. More planks. Ooh, science is available up over here. Satoshi's already down over here. I think I want to keep him, get him to scout down over here. Might as well. And meanwhile, let's go ahead and move Jin further in. We'll see what these lands hold for us. Satoshi, let's take a peek. We're already down here. Let's take a peek. If we're lucky. Oh, what do you know we are? Ah, but of course we had to move this way. Fair enough. Next turn, we'll arrive over here for another 375 science points. That's not too bad. Back over here. I think our research is completed. So let's get basic farming going. Yep, get on that. That should be done relatively soon as well. Harper, you can see how long injuries take to heal up as well. Eh? Like it's not a fast thing. Like these things take time. This is at double speed as well. So stuff is serious business. Baron is still back over here chilling. Again, we can send him out to take care of some bandit camps potentially if we feel that's necessary. Maybe. And I wonder if I want to get a forester over here to expand this wooded area. Just to help the trapper over here. There's the emergency shelter completed over here. Excellent. No one is going to stay homeless anymore. And let's go ahead and establish the road over here. Oh, of course. The grid continues to throw me off. Oh, it's okay. It's not. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect. We don't even need to have roads, mind you. Might just make this all beautification. Maybe. I'll think about it. Think about how much I'm willing to bend my typical grid-like rules. Go ahead and position you over here where there are some berries. I think I need to move you. No, I don't. But let's just shift you up a little bit so I can see you more clearly and separate you from the berries, from the food gathering. Cool. All right. Pretty good. Oh no. Just as I'm saying pretty good, things are going pretty well. Heat wave. Intense and oppressive heat takes over the area as moisture evaporates. Colonists struggle to keep hydrated and cool while working. Lakes dry up and plants wither in the cracked soil. So colonists drink double the normal amount. Yikes. Crop yields on open fields suffer. Well, we're not there yet. Build and fill water storages while stockpiling food to survive. Okay, well, that's interesting timing. Heatwave incoming in 1 day. Yikes. Not a lot of time to prepare. But we might want to get, stockpile food. We got a lot of food. We got to stockpile water as well, though. I might want to get that water storage I was talking about and get this sorted, get this focused on and sorted as that heat wave arrives before we find ourselves in a decent amount of trouble. But folks, that heat wave we'll have to wait because it is time for me to wave you farewell. This is the end of this session today. I try to keep these about an hour long. Again, there will be the next episode releasing tomorrow at the same time, continuing our adventures. Hopefully, we'll be able to survive the aftermath, so to speak, with this heat wave coming in. It shouldn't be that bad for us. It will shake things up a little bit, but it shouldn't be that bad. We are pretty well established. All we can hope for is that as we continue to explore the territories around us and continue to develop our, research and whatnot, we'll be able to build bigger and bigger stockpiles so that future catastrophes, well, aren't catastrophes. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this session. Again, if you did, and if you'd like to see more of the game on the channel, please don't hesitate to keep letting me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. It does make a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel, what I do more or less of, and how I go about doing it. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. That'll keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big ol' thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.